What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. This is episode 66. My name is Randy Little, man. I host this thing. Hopefully you enjoyed the sitcom episode that we did. Took a little break from the movies. And now we're back. The whole panel is back. Nick missed last episode. Nick has returned. I should have just titled this episode "The Return of the Goodman," but I didn't. Every episode title got to be related to whatever we're talking about. So Eric, Melissa, Nick, we're talking musical biopics. You see the title: Jim Morrison, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, N.W.A. Notorious B.I.G, Tupac, Freddie Mercury, Elton John, some of the artists that got biopics that we're discussing. And man, it's a fun episode, man. I enjoyed the conversation in this one. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna jump on into the recent and new releases. On Blu-ray and DVD, man, 2 Tuesdays ago, Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2 came out. It looks like One Crazy Summer came out from Warner Archive. The Haunting. I remember liking The Haunting. I wouldn't watch that shit today, though. And then last Tuesday, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard came out. Multiple versions. Blu-ray, 4K, and then it looks like Steelbooks. The Hitman's Bodyguard got a 4K Steelbook. And then, I don't remember what the hell Bingo is, so I'm going to just leave that like that. Eric put in a group chat that shit was coming out. I didn't know what it was. This upcoming Tuesday, looks like Conjuring 3 comes out. The Return to Salem's Lot. Peter Rabbit 2. And then the Tuesday before the next show is gonna be. It looked like Doom. It looked like Dune. The 1984 Dune is getting some re-releases. Mortal Kombat got another animated movie coming. Fear the Walking Dead season 6 got a release. And I think there's something out there. In the Heights is coming out, and then 12 Mighty Orphans. Haven't seen it. My theater didn't get it, but I'm gonna check that shit out. And then, if I'm looking at this calendar, the Friday after the last episode was the 13th of August, and that's when Free Guy, Don't Breathe 2, and Respect came out. The purpose for this episode. And then this past weekend we got The Protege, Michael Keaton, Maggie Q, Samuel L. Jackson, and we got Reminiscence with Hugh Jackman. All 5 of those are on my personal YouTube channel. Check those reviews out. I would appreciate that shit. When I think I'm gonna start doing poll questions again. I think it might be safe to do poll questions again for the podcast. So when I return, friends will be in attendance. Not Monica and Chandler and Joey and Ross and them. My podcasting panel will be in attendance. We're going to talk about these shows. I'm going to spit y'all some bars at the end because it's Rec League, baby. Alright, here we go. The worst part of the show is always my intro. But, Nick, welcome back. Rapid fire, your top 3 sitcoms right now because you missed last show.
Breaking Bad.
Not a sitcom.
Dexter.
Not a sitcom.
Cab Confessions.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
I don't know. I'm a Friends guy.
Yeah.
You're white.
I just like, yeah, from the mountains of Caucasus.
That was my number 2. If you're white, you like Friends. It's just how it goes.
Yep.
Top 3. I guess The Office. When I think of sitcoms, I think of something like with a laugh track, and that's not right. Like that's not great. But I guess like The Office is there, like Parks is there. That's probably top 3, to be honest.
Okay, that was the slowest rapid fire of all time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was I had to do
Nick, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I liked season 1 of Parks and Recreation, but a lot of people don't. Did you like it? I think we talked about it.
I liked it. It's probably the weakest season. I don't know.
Oh, I don't agree with that, but cool. At least you like it.
I didn't love the last season of Parks. I'm one of the only ones that was like, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
But it was like get me to season 2, and season 2 is where it picks up. It's like, oh, this is great.
I think 2 and 3 are really good.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4 is like like when it was like at its best.
Exactly.
As good as or
After
better.
After 4, it's like forget about it for me.
It's fine. But when it was at its peak, like when it was at its best, it was like better than The Office, or at least as good.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, hot take.
Okay, and apologies to the Wayans brothers. Apologies to Monsters at Work. We didn't mention either one of those. Hello, Eric. Hello, Melissa. We are talking about movies based on musicians this episode. And before we get into what we watched or what our favorites are, I want to ask, who are some musicians that y'all think deserve a biopic that haven't gotten one yet? Because I think Elvis is coming like next summer.
Yeah, it's coming.
I think Bob Marley might be coming. I read that it might be getting made, but that was one that I wrote down. I also wrote down B.B. King, and I wrote down what else did I write down? Sinatra.
So, yeah, take this. When you wrote down Elvis.
No, Elvis, Baz Luhrmann is doing Elvis. It was supposed to come out this year.
So, even without Baz Luhrmann doing Elvis, that shouldn't be on the list.
No?
No. 1979, Kurt Russell played Elvis. Kurt Russell played Elvis in the John Carpenter directed movie, Elvis.
Ain't nobody talking about that one. I want another one.
1994, Kurt Russell played the voice of Elvis
in Forrest Gump.
I was going to tell y'all, don't forget who taught Elvis how to dance.
Yeah. No, it was a
Didn't know that or forgot about it. Wow.
Which one?
The Forrest Gump thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was the voice of Elvis.
Play Elvis, like, sitting on the bed. Like, why didn't they just get... Maybe he was a little old in 1994.
Yeah, it was just actually, I think it was an afterthought for them. They needed to do ADR, and they're like, oh, and they were buddies. Somebody was buddies with Kurt. Yeah, but the Elvis movie, it was people forget about it. Shout Factor released it a couple of years ago with the Select under their Select banner, but it was a TV movie.
Good for them.
And it was decent too. I think Kurt got an Emmy nomination, and John Carpenter got an Emmy for directing.
So he was just like I'm done with Michael Myers. Time to do Elvis.
Yeah, it was just
they don't even look alike at all to me.
Yeah, in the movie, he pulls it off.
Didn't Jonathan Rhys Meyers play Elvis in a thing for like TV?
It sounds
in a thing he did.
Like it could be.
I just watched Velvet Goldmine for this podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good segue. What all did you watch before I forget to bring it up?
Oh, what did we watch? Oh my God.
Good one, Nick.
I watched a lot of fake ones that Randy doesn't count, like Dreamgirls, Glitter, Velvet Goldmine. What else?
Yeah, I was texting my friend about I was like, we're gonna talk about musical biopics, and she was like, I was like, I didn't watch anything new or anything. I didn't do any prep, and she was like, well, have you seen Hamilton? I was like,
no, God.
I don't think that counts. I was like, that's
I didn't think of that. Yeah,
that is a musical, but it's not a musical biopic.
Yeah, that's good one.
I watched a real one. What's Love Got to Do with It? And I watched Get On Up.
Good ones.
And I've seen some already before the podcast.
It's one we got to talk about in particular when we get to it, a fake one, because it could have done something to the genre. It should have done something to the genre. But
does it never stop, never stopping, or does it walk really hard?
Oh, we'll see. But I don't know what it is about Elvis. I guess people don't think he's good enough to get a theatrical movie because
I don't think that's what it is.
Until next summer.
Yeah. Well, everything he has is a television movie. The one Nick was talking about is from 2005 with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
Oh.
Right.
There's also the Rat Pack for Frank Sinatra, right? That's on YouTube if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, it's an HBO.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta and
that's
all
got a strong cast for a HBO 1998. Because didn't Don Cheadle play Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah, I didn't get around to seeing it, but I found it and I was like, ooh, I want to see this at some point.
Yeah, like I'm sure it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, at least it was made for HBO movie, so they put a little.
They tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple F words.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Kurt Cobain a lot. I know that there's Last Days.
Ooh.
Haven't seen it. I think it would be kind of cool to see like a Nirvana one, but
Nirvana would be like, it would be hard to do. I think it would be like the Doors movie. Like
gross.
The Doors.
I tried that too.
I think it's a good movie. And I think like Val Kilmer is like unbelievable in that movie.
Yeah.
Not like you have to watch it like it's not a straightforward. Like you have to be like, well, he didn't really do this. This is just kind of like the perception of Jim Morrison. I think that's how the Kurt Cobain one would have to be. Like it would have to be him like sitting in a corner, like writing the songs or whatever. And like he probably didn't do that. Like he was probably pretty normal.
But is that not what the biopics, any biopic really is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury standing up like in the AIDS hospital, like I'm gonna go write a song about being under pressure.
Oh, I can't wait to get on that movie.
About being under pressure.
I'm under all this pressure.
Yeah, and that's why I want to.
Vanilla Ice is gonna steal my
Friends all
song
over again because Randy and I like Bo Rap.
Yeah, like I'm rewatching it last night, and I'm like, oh, like, am I just like not sophisticated enough? Because I still like this.
I loved it, and I know it's not gonna be a popular opinion, but
the things. Well, hell, let's talk about it.
Teenagers will never drive in their cars singing Galileo.
Yeah, come on.
So that was great.
That was my favorite part. I was like, oh, yeah. Wayne's World, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wayne's World.
Yeah, no, that was like, ooh, finger thing.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous, but yeah, I was fine with it, I guess.
Man, it's okay to wink at the camera every once in a while.
Like, that was cute or whatever. And it's not just Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, it's not the prime offense. Like, it's not the only movie that does it.
No.
But it's like, they skim over so much of, like, the actual biopic. Like, it's like, 1 minute they're in the office, like, selling the song or whatever, and then there's a whole montage about, and then the album sold this much, and then they went on tour, and then it's like the next scene, they're super famous, and they're just like, we have to write a new record. It's got to be better than the last record. I'm like, what was on the last record? Like, you haven't talked about. And they're just sitting around like, God, what can we do? And then he stomps his foot and claps. I'm like,
yeah, it's just. And this is why I can't wait to talk about a certain movie, because this is the problem with most of these music biopics. But unfortunately, that particular movie, I don't know why I'm making it a secret, it didn't do well in theaters. So
just say it.
Let's talk about Bo Rap. Bo Rap.
Brap.
Bo Rap didn't do well? I thought it made bonkers.
No. I'm talking about the other movie that should have killed or made it stronger, the genre of music biopics or whatever. So my issue with Bohemian Rhapsody, and the thing that ultimately brought it down is ego. So originally, hang with me. The movie I wanted to see and still want to see, which we'll never see, is the Sacha Baron Cohen version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two dudes who are still involved with Queen and their properties, like creatively, Brian May, and I forget the other guy, because one is just totally retired out in the country, the UK country. So they originally wanted the movie to be about the aftermath of Freddie Mercury's death. So right then and there, it's about ego. Nobody cares about what happened after.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury's. Okay, make a sequel, cool. But Sacha Baron Cohen wanted the movie to be what it should have been. There's no reason in the world this should have been PG-13.
For sure.
So,
no rock stars, no life story of a rock star should be PG-13.
Michael Jackson. Well, we get to that. So Freddie Mercury said something. It was I forget what it's quoted. He said, "Whatever you do when I'm gone, don't make me boring." And this movie does that for the most part. And it kind of it does something that's very inaccurate. It kind of paints him a lot as the villain, always showing up late, being reckless and this and that. That was I forget what it is. It was a biography on Queen. You know, they were all reckless. They were rock stars.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s. Give me a break. And hey, what are we going to do about Freddie? I mean.
They were all showed up early the next day, like ready to go.
Yeah, and come on, man. And like the scene Nick was talking about, I think Freddie showed up late in that scene and and all of it. Come on, man.
That's like, what can we do to pass the time? Oh, I don't know. And he just stomps his foot.
Yeah, it's cheesy, but awesome at the same time. But the movie is what I have a problem with. Rami Malek's performance is excellent. He deserved every bit of that Oscar. Yeah. I'm not taking that away from him.
I agree.
And even though in the movie they tend to skate around his sexuality.
Yeah.
They tiptoe very much with it.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about the PG-13. I'm like, the man was we know he was a homosexual. And they do it during a little montage. They're like, oh, let's throw this in here to wink at it so we won't totally, you know. And I like the scene he sat down with the girl he loved. I forget her name, and he tried to. I'm glad they put that part in there. But it's very then the controversies behind the scene. I'm sure affected it with Bryan Singer, and then had the replacement director, and the replacement director would go on to make, in my opinion, a better music biopic with Rocket Man. And when we talk about that and how snubbed that movie was,
yeah.
But that's just my opinion on Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't mean to. It's not a bad movie by any means, but it's not as great as it should have been. Because of the people involved and the egos and all of that. And that's my take.
That's good. I like to hear that because it's funny. My experience was, I took my parents. My parents, they loved the 70s the way I loved the 90s. It was the perfect movie for all of us to go see. We were completely enthralled. We just bought into the whole experience. We had such a great time. People were clapping, singing in the theater, just having a great time. And then I come out, and me, I'm like you guys, I read all the reviews, and man, people hate this movie. It was really shocking. It was that might be the biggest disconnect I've had with the audience in a very long time. Critics, I'm always disconnected with them. Like, you guys know I love comedies and romantic comedies and movies about women, and critics don't like those. But for the audience to also disagree with me, that was a big shock. So I read probably 100 reviews on Letterboxd of just why people hated it, just to try and get it. People said it was homophobic. People said they really sanitized Freddie's life. I totally get all that. I can't disagree with all that. People said there was really bad editing, really bad directing. I didn't go to film school, so that stuff I don't even
The Academy Award-winning film editing.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all political, right?
It's it is, because, I'm sorry, Melissa, it's one scene in particular that they point to with a bad editing. And this is not a coincidence. Ego. Brian May and John Deacon, I believe it is, there's one scene, and they have it written into each one of the characters have to get an equal amount of screen time. When they're in the scene together. And there's a scene where they're meeting the manager for the first time. It's just like frantic, cut, this and that over. And like you said, Melissa, it's like political. And somebody pointed out, it seems like the film editing is about what the best editing is. It's about what the most editing is.
Oh, right.
How many this movie won. But anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's fine. I like to learn stuff like that because, man, to be so completely disconnected from the majority opinion, I was like, what? At least some people agree Rami did a great job. Some people think he was awful. People make fun of the teeth. Have to change his look to try and mimic Freddie. Like, they can't just have him out there. Like, there's biopics that just don't care.
People
they don't
made
even
fun of Freddie Mercury's teeth for real. Okay, I guess that works.
So they're trying. I mean, they can't just have Mr. Robot out there playing Freddie. They have to do some changes. I don't know. I thought Rami was fantastic. That was a very good year for movies. I liked almost every movie. Between him and Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born, I can't even decide because, man, Bradley blew me away too. I know that's not a biopic, but yeah, I'm glad at least that Rami got the accolades. And the Bryan Singer thing is very unfortunate, but at least, you know, there was a lot of positive. And God, they made millions and millions and millions of money from that movie. Crazy. That was like the last big blockbuster hit, like besides Marvel and all that. That was crazy.
When I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, it was like the same thing. Like, I was watching, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I feel like I talk a lot of shit on Bohemian Rhapsody historically.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. And I think if it had come out before Walk Hard, I would probably like it more. Like, I would be like, oh, well, Walk Hard's making fun of Bohemian Rhapsody. But now that it's come out, I'm like, oh, see, it does so much of the paint by numbers stuff. But I mean, like, I enjoyed it all. But it ends with that giant Live Aid concert. And it's like a complete recreation of the show. The choreography is the same, and it shows the audience and everybody's singing. And I saw it in IMAX, and it was like, wow, like, holy shit, that's the end of the movie. And the music, the credits roll, and the music plays. And so everybody walks out of the theaters like, that was incredible. And like the last 20 minutes were incredible. Holy shit, they're doing the greatest hits.
Yeah, and then you have time to digest it.
I think that's why so many people, like, just regular, like, normies, not to say that it's a crime to like the movie, because it's a good movie, but like normies, like, went home and was like, it was incredible, it was amazing. It's like when you watch a comedy, and like the movie's fine or whatever, and then the end they play the bloopers, and the bloopers are funnier than the whole movie. You're laughing your ass off, and you go home and you're like, that was hilarious. It's kind of like that to me. Like, I was like, that's why people are loving it. Because they're leaving and it's like, wow, they love Queen's music. They're like, oh, holy shit, that was amazing. They played Radio Gaga. That was amazing. I was like, well, yeah, it's a real show. You can watch it. That was it to me. Like, I was like, why are people loving this so much? And I'm like, it was good.
Yeah.
And then I thought, and I was like, I think that's why. Everybody's walking out of the theater like, good Lord. Oh.
I get what you're saying, but like, you know, that doesn't really it's true that I'm a normie and I love the movie, but I actually really did love all of like the whole thing.
You're a normie because I know you're not.
And I don't even know Queen's music, you know, so it wasn't really that for me. I learn about music like that from movies like this or like American Idol
that's
or other normie ways. So that wasn't it for me, but I totally get why you're saying and why you would have that impression. But, you know, I've definitely seen bad comedies where the bloopers were great, and I was still like, that wasn't a good comedy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that works on me, although I appreciate the tool of it trying to work. Because why not end on a high note? But, yeah, I like the whole thing, I got to admit. Everything.
Man, during that award season, Nick's reaction to every Bohemian Rhapsody was what got me through.
I was just
like how angry he would get?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
They got nominated for like everything, and I was like, why? Like, why? Not that I didn't like it. It's not that I didn't like it.
It's
but
political.
as Eric said, there was one that came out a year later that I thought was
overall better.
It wasn't significantly better. I thought it was better, and it got snubbed.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are other ones that have come out and like have been snubbed. And there were movies that came out in 2018 that I thought were like great and got snubbed.
Yeah, like I said, 2018 was an incredible year, and there were so many snubs because Bo Rap took over everything. And I don't know if it's marketing or some kind of perfect storm. I couldn't believe how much money that movie kept making. It just to see the box office returns week after week, I was like, oh my God, this is like a snowball that's never gonna stop. It was crazy. And then Rocket Man came out and everyone ignored it.
And I don't get it.
It was great. I was really rooting for him, and I don't know if he at least got nominations.
Not many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their release date.
I think he did.
So what happens when you release a biopic in May?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
so.
Yeah. That, and it's not. It wasn't a flop. Don't get it.
Well, that's
it,
good.
Yeah, it didn't make as much money as
Bo Rep. When was Bo Rep released? Like December or
November?
November.
Yeah, close to the end of the season.
They did a good job with that.
Well, I know like Rocket Man came out, and then X-Men Dark Phoenix came out the week later, and Eric was just transfixed on X-Men.
Rocket Man came out the same day as Godzilla.
Ma and Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just bad.
It was a crowded weekend, yeah.
That sucks.
I saw all of
In
them.
May.
Taryn blew me away, and Jamie Bell too. I thought they were both so great. Well, the whole cast, but you know what I mean. Like, I was really knocked out.
Yeah, and it was a unique. I haven't rewatched Rocket Man front to back since the theater, and I want to. I probably should have before this, but I remember how much I liked it. But it was a really unique way to do it. It wasn't just like paint by numbers, like he was born and then he sang a song at the dinner table. It was like through his weird memories, and it was kind of more of like a musical.
Yeah, the way that they went about that. That's one of the more
song, and now I'm gonna sing it.
In the era of what the music biopic is, the painting by numbers, like Bo Rap, and to have that creative, like, what better way to do a story about Elton John than to have it as a musical, not just a biopic, but a musical.
Yeah,
singing his own songs, and pushing the narrative and story along that way.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen Rocket Man in over an hour. I really enjoyed it.
The funny thing is, when they were marketing that movie, we kept seeing pictures come out, and I kept making fun of it because Taryn looked so much like George Costanza to me. Like, painted up as Elton, like his little outfits, and I was like, this is gonna be a joke. And then it came out, and no, I completely forgot about that George Costanza thing. But he really, like, in the ads, he looked like George. So I was like, what is this? This is a Seinfeld biopic? But no, he was really good. And I didn't know anything about him previously. So good for him. I wish he would have won more awards, but damn.
Yeah. And I'm gonna send you something, Melissa. It's a great YouTube page called History Buffs, and they compare what happened, the true history to the movie history for true stories. Like, they've covered Goodfellas, Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody is a rare two-parter. He had so much to say about that. So,
and it really invokes reactions in people. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's a good YouTube page. I'm gonna send that to you. But yeah, it's unfortunate that,
to me, there was another music biopic that came out in 2018. Or it was 2017, and it was more paint by numbers than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh damn!
Hail Mary.
Yeah, the Tupac movie.
Oh, I was just joking.
To me, that's a way better example. Like, when you talk about a movie that's like,
that's last on my list.
Yeah, I
still haven't seen it. Damn.
I would like the dude that's cast as Tupac is perfect. He looks just like Pac. He sounds just like Pac. But it feels like a hip hop biopic that should have been on Lifetime.
Yes.
It's like Wikipedia the movie. Like,
the unauthorized story.
I remember before I went and saw it, I hadn't watched Tupac Resurrection in a long time, the documentary. And I was like, let me rewatch this. And it was like, the documentary about his life and his career. And the movie is just that. It's like, that was what they did. They studied that. They watched that. And they were like, okay, let's just do this beat for beat. It's not like a bad movie. It's like, it kind of works, like, entertainment-wise.
Hey,
it's like, well, I guess that's something.
When Jada Pinkett come out and, like, disprove that shit. She debunked the whole movie, or at least what she was involved in. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's another thing about biopics. I was talking to Randy about What's Love Got to Do with It, and Tina Turner was so uncomfortable with so many making me feel so bad and I felt guilty watching it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to Pac for a minute, and even we could bring up another one because this involves him too.
Ain't
a lot
nothing
of people,
but a gangster party.
A lot of people praised the miniseries Unsolved, Biggie and Tupac.
Oh, that was on USA, right?
What's that?
That was on USA, right?
Was it USA? Yeah, USA.
I think
FX,
so. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
And it was pretty good.
They come out around the same time though, like summer 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that one was like way better. It was about them, and about their relationship, Biggie and Tupac, and that was more intriguing than the actual movies. Both Notorious and All Eyes.
Hey, we not gonna disrespect Notorious.
Oh no,
we not
disrespecting. I'm saying it's a better portrayal. I like Notorious.
Nick, I will hang up on you.
Yeah, and
Randy, come on, man.
In comparison,
that one
Notorious
I love Notorious.
On me.
I think Notorious is better than All Eyes on Me. I will.
But that's not a high bar. And the funny thing, I know Randy loves it. And I know Randy loves it, but I found my old review, and I just wrote that I laughed and laughed and laughed like it was an unintentional comedy. So I don't remember, but apparently it made me laugh.
Yeah. I remember laughing my ass off when I watched Notorious, and he was like selling drugs, and his mom said, "Look how fat you're getting. You got whole plates of mashed potatoes under your bed." He was like, "What?" And I was like, "Who's mistaking like a plate of drugs for mashed potatoes?"
Man, I gotta watch this again.
I was like, you didn't look and sniff or anything.
You shut your mouth.
I love Biggie. Like, I was so excited. It was a big event when this movie came out. Like, we all went to the theater and we were so excited. And then I just was like, what is this? I don't know. It didn't work for me, I guess.
My biggest issue with Notorious was just like, what's his name? Looked nothing like Puff.
Derek Luke.
Oh, what was his name?
Derek Luke.
Looked nothing like Tupac.
Yeah, I think Anthony Mackie was widely miscast.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, hey, they cast him. They went straight for the acting, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I never once watched that movie and thought like that's.
I mean, Derek Luke. At least he had the essence of Puffy down.
Yeah, I go in the jungle. I go in the jungle with nothing. I come out with a chinchilla coat.
Yeah. And I like the part when he played the sample for Juice.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, to a point, I don't even care about the story. If I'm into the music and watching them recording the hits and the classics, I like that shit.
But this is sort of the, I don't know, you call it the Bo Rap effect.
No.
The movie...
You not putting Bohemian Rhapsody on Notorious.
But Randy really like Notorious.
Wow.
I'm telling, bro,
we found his holy grail.
Bro, like, no, not even my holy grail. Like, this shit is special to me. This shit is sacred to me because you guys all know that I write, I rap, and at this point in my life, I had beats. I was trying to get into a studio, and I had writer's block. Notorious came out. And my wife was my girlfriend at the time. I looked at the poster, was like, I don't know. I was shitting on it before it came out. And I came out like watching the movie January 2009, and I went home and I was writing. Like, it's something sparked. I don't know what it was.
He's inspired, so it's a personal thing.
No, I love that. I love that. That's great.
Too bad the movie sucks. But anyway,
that's why they brought him back in the Tupac movie.
But it's interesting.
I thought that was the cool thing about All Eyes on Me.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Notorious. It's the thing about music biopics that Bohemian Rhapsody, like we were talking about, with people leaving the theater. Yeah, the energy. There was a part in Notorious I really liked, and I don't know if it's true, Randy. You can tell me real life wise when Little Kim was rapping her song, "Get Money" song. And I don't know, you remember she was on stage and she was like looking at Biggie rapping.
Junior Mafia?
Yeah, Junior Mafia. And I think that was a real good scene. Like, oh, that song was talking about Biggie or whatever. But yeah, it's...
I don't know.
I gotta watch this again, man. That's
Yeah,
and I
but that's
gotta
the thing,
watch All
like,
Eyes on Me now.
I talk about Jada Pinkett come out and debunking, like Little Kim come out and disproved and debunked like everything that was about her too. But she might have just been sucking on sour grapes. I don't know.
Eric, you're out of focus.
I was about to say you just got real blurry, dog.
Yeah, no, it's autofocus.
And Nick is frozen.
That's awesome. I love. I mean, I think the reason why music biopics are so popular is everyone loves that. Like, just to get to see your favorite musician in their youth, in their prime, and see some actor playing them. As long as they're good, that's a very exciting effect. Especially with a musician who's not with us anymore. You know, when it's done well and if it's done respectfully, that's so fun. Yeah. Any biopic, really.
It's like
I got one, Melissa. Sorry, Randy.
No, I was just gonna say, like for real, Elton John might be one of like the very few artists who got to see their biopic.
Yeah.
That sucks.
He was involved a lot, right?
And so let's go down a rabbit hole because it's one movie I'm talking about is gonna open up for another movie
that
Randy just watched. So I don't know if any of y'all watched this.
You don't know what I just watched?
Oh, I know.
You all know.
You told me.
I told the world, baby.
No, so it's one from 1978.
No, I ain't watched that.
Academy Award nominated performance by Gary Busey.
Superman. Oh.
Yeah.
So the Buddy Holly story.
Oh, wow.
Great movie.
It is. It's good.
Great movie. Gary Busey sang all of the songs by himself.
Wow.
And
Gary Busey is a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, he is. He was like back. It's so crazy to see him so young. I watched it recently, and once again, great performance. And people forget how young Buddy Holly was when he passed.
They were all like teenagers, early 20s, weren't they?
Yeah, Buddy was 18, no 17, wasn't he?
That's terrible.
Like super young.
Played him in Walk Hard.
What's that, Nick?
That's why Frankie Muniz played him in Walk Hard.
Oh.
Yeah, that was and we got it. Oh, I can't wait to get to that. But yeah, it was and Gary Busey was like in his late 20s or even in his 30s playing him, and he passed it off like he was as young as he was. But it's a great movie.
He probably think he could do that shit today.
Yeah. So Nick, you saw it.
He's been riding on that Oscar nomination for like 45 years.
Hey, a lot of people do it.
Mr. Joshua.
I used to love. I know it's not aged well. I used to love watching The Apprentice. I used to like the Celebrity Apprentice when it was on TV. It was like my favorite show. And Gary Busey was on there with Meatloaf. Anyway, like the whole season, like anytime Gary did something, he was like acted weird. It was like, this is Academy Award nominated actor Gary Busey. Like the whole thing.
Would they say that?
Yeah.
Gary Academy Award nominated actor.
That's
Gary,
so funny because I don't even know about any of this. Wow.
Yeah. He got the one, and then he played the Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah, years later.
It was one thing. Like, it was like, oh, remember you got that Oscar nomination 45 years ago?
Hey, but he also played the best Lethal Weapon villain.
Yeah, you gotta give it to him.
Hold on.
Smirching Gary Busey's legacy.
Eric, Melissa, did y'all get to see Respect?
Nope.
We got to talk about the movie. Why we even talking about this show anyway?
Yeah, definitely talk about it. I mean, biopics don't really have spoilers, so don't worry about it.
Well, she was born.
The Buddy.
She sang a song.
Did y'all see it, Melissa? Or Randy? Did y'all see the Buddy Holly story?
I haven't seen Buddy Holly.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
it's
what about the?
1980.
So what about the other movie that is connected to it? Richie Valens, La Bamba.
I have not.
Oh, yeah, Brandy, shut
up. No. Real talk. Like, when I told my wife what we were doing for this episode, and she was like, you got to watch La Bamba. You got to watch Selena. All right.
Yeah. Selena's like a staple of the conversation to me.
Yeah, it was really good.
Best one, but like, it's like, kind of like, it's like one of the, if there's like a Mount Rushmore of like, these are the ones you gotta like follow, I feel like it's one of the hits.
Yeah, people always talk about it still today.
I have it 6th on my list.
Yeah. I know what the first hit on Mount Rushmore is to me. But I feel like Selena is like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it made a star out of Jennifer Lopez.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
To me, Ray is like a template. Like Ray is like the one.
Ray was so
like
good.
The example. Yeah, like, and I think looking back on it, like, yeah, it does do a lot of the like
benchmarks or whatever.
Cover this, but it's so good. Like, and it's PG-13, and it really doesn't. I don't get that feeling like, oh, it's skimped over so much of his life.
Nah.
Like, it doesn't paint him as like a golden icon, like at all. Like he fucks with drugs, he fucks around with his wife, and all this stuff, and it doesn't paint him like, oh, but he was such a good father. Like, he was red. Like, it does, I think, the best job of just being like, here he is. Like, warts and all, like, this is the guy. But, like, look at the legacy he made. Like, look at the music he made, and this is why people love him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. And then, like, you watch Walk Hard, and it makes fun of that and Walk the Line. Like, it's almost a shame. Like, to me, I've seen Walk Hard like 100 times, and to me, that's like a minor classic. Like, I love Walk Hard. And so any biopic that comes out, I'm kind of looking at it through that lens, and maybe that's not fair. It is kind of fair.
No, it's very fair because it shows the laziness of these films.
But it kind of sucks. Doesn't that kind of ruin things?
Which one? What's that?
It kind of ruins things for you if you guys. Oh, like I have things that are ruined for me too because of effects like that. So it's not great. Like, you know, Clueless is like my second favorite movie, and I've tried to watch so many adaptations of Emma, and after 15 minutes, I'm just like, I shut it off. I can't take it.
Yeah, but it's like, I feel like that's why I liked Rocket Man. I feel like it kind of
broke that mold.
Transcended.
It kind of like played hopscotch with that. Like, well, instead of doing this, we could do this. Respect, as much as I did enjoy like, I thought it was good. It did a lot of the stuff, like the walk art. There was a lot of the come sing a song for us, baby, and then it's like
wait. Was that your Forrest Whitaker impression?
No, that was just whoever was out at the party telling her.
It was either Forrest Whitaker or it was Mary J. Blige.
And she was like, "Okay, Daddy," and she comes out and just.
Oh my God!
How old is she? And she's like, "She's only 10." And I'm like, "Oh, we'll see." It was just like Walk Hard, where he's singing the blues. Like, I reckon I might know the blues, and he sings it's like an old man's song. But
it's funny.
You're ruining a movie that I liked.
It touches on all the,
like, I think I just watch things and I don't think like that, which is good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Respect. I enjoyed Respect more than, some of the other biopics that have come out recently. I think Jennifer Hudson was fantastic. And I was actually kind of concerned because I know she's a great singer. I know she's an Academy Award winning actress. I was like, and to an extent, it's like, well, who else would play Aretha Franklin? Like, you think, like, it's like, well, who else? But she doesn't really look like Aretha Franklin. Like, when you really, it's like, she doesn't really look. So I was, like, concerned. I was like, well, she's probably just going to show up and sing and win another Oscar because she can sing.
Yeah.
But it's an honest-to-God performance. They make her, like, she looks, there were times where she was performing and I was like, oh, she does look like Aretha there. So, like, she put in work. Like, that, and the same thing about Rami Malek. I was like, it's good enough to put the teeth in and then just go out there and lip-sync some songs. But I didn't feel that way. I was like, he put in the work. He studied Mercury, and, like, he did the job. Like, he got the job done. So I felt like that about Respect, whereas some of them, it's just kind of like, they show up and it's like, give me my Golden Globe, whatever.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nick, what you
awards
said,
bodies always love those damn movies, no matter what. So it's like,
Well, nah, that's not true. No matter what, because I'm about to bring a movie up that got buried, and rightfully so. Because if at least you put effort into it, that at least you can show you put a little bit of effort into it.
Yeah.
And even if it comes off as mediocre, like Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sorry, I'm just messing with y'all at this point. So there was a movie that came out in 2016, and everybody forgets about it, and I'm glad they do, and rightfully so. It's a music biopic, and the hell with this movie. Nick knows what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So it's not. What's that?
I think I know what you're talking about, and like it wasn't that good, unless you're talking about the other one, which I did like.
I hope it's not the one you liked. So it's very, like I said, with effort. Do a little bit of research. This movie was painfully misguided. And I'm just a basic fan of this person, but I know a lot about her. The casting was horrible. That was the biggest controversy, the most famous thing about the movie. So I'm talking about Nina.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't what I was thinking, but I know what you're talking about.
That was just a whole mess.
Did I? I guess I haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
We can't talk about this one. I haven't seen it.
Nick, what's the one you liked?
Yeah. It was
okay, so like the Miles Davis movie came out in 2006.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's where he was going.
About that shit.
Randy didn't love it. I remember thinking that was like pretty good. I watched it like February. I thought that movie was good. Then there was one where Tom Hiddleston played.
Oh,
what's his name?
He had a guitar.
The Blues guy.
Yes,
and I was like,
the what?
About that.
That wasn't very good.
What was this?
What's his name? The Lovesick Blues.
God dog it.
I just remember he had a guitar.
Lovesick Blues. Where is it? Shit. It's him.
I gotta look it up.
Tilda Swinton?
Are you saying it was a movie or he was in the Miles Ahead movie?
No, Tom Hiddleston. It was called I Saw the Light.
I Saw the Light.
Oh, okay.
Hank Williams?
What's his name?
Hank Williams, is it?
It's the Hank Williams.
Hank Williams.
Good job, Randy.
Letterbox, baby.
Oh, yeah. I just saw a movie that had a lot of his music, and I was like, damn, this is some good music.
Yeah. And that's just, and how can you mess up Hank Williams or Nina Simone? It's just, it's so, and this is the laziness of how bad it can get when it gets real bad. You know, Bohemian Rhapsody, at least it gives you a decent experience, even though it's not accurate and crap was involved. But you can't say, I don't think a lot of people do, but the hell with them. This movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, isn't bad. It's not what they wanted it to be. There's a difference from something not being what you wanted to be and it being bad, how it's presented to you, you know?
I was going to say, was this Zoe Saldana?
Yeah,
Zoe Saldana.
That was it was a big controversy.
Yeah.
And even, what's the movie?
I remember reading that and thinking like,
that's ego. That's ego. Like her estate didn't want her to make the movie at all, and she went ahead with it anyway. It was a big controversy when it was announced.
And the Miles Davis movie. There was a little controversy with that, and that's not controversy, but it's something very unfair. Have you seen it, Melissa?
No.
Why you say so shamefully?
Yeah.
No.
No.
So, Don Cheadle, it was a passion project for Cheadle.
Yeah.
Who's 56. Damn.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I said damn.
So, we got it. Melissa. So the movie, I don't know if y'all heard about this. So Ewan McGregor, right?
I'm familiar with his work.
Yeah, so that's him in the movie. I don't know why I'm
yeah.
brain farting.
Why?
So his character, they wouldn't let Don Cheadle make the movie unless they put a main white character in the movie. They straight said that. Don Cheadle said it. And that's what the what's the name character who's mostly fictional came about.
Holy shit.
Well, Nick, you knew this. You had to know this.
Well, I'm white.
Damn.
Were white people allowed in the... I didn't know that. I knew that his character was like not based on anything real. Like I knew it was like, but to me that was something I liked about the movie because it was different than just the paint by numbers. It was like a different way to tell a story. It was like a night in the life of Miles, and I was just like, this is wild. But no, I hadn't heard that.
I think this happens a lot, but we don't hear about it because shocked me. I didn't know that. And it reminds me of the new Aladdin remake where Billy Magnussen is in it. And they were going to make a spin-off just about him.
Yeah.
And I think it only stopped because there was such a big outcry of like, why are you doing this? Why was he even in the movie? In the first place. Anyway, so when Eric tells me that, it blows my mind and it makes me think, how many times have we seen this and we just didn't know that the studio was behind? Like, oh,
it's a mandate. There's not enough white people.
He was a potential suitor for Jasmine who happened to be a white guy in the Middle East.
It's so normal.
Yeah.
It's so every day.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Not to get too off topic.
Like tigers in Alaska.
Master of None on Netflix.
Yeah.
There's a really good episode. He's like an actor. And he and his buddy go out for a show to like get on a sitcom. And his buddy is also Indian. And they both do really well. They come out of the audition and they're like, dude, we killed it. Dude, I killed it too. I'm so happy. And it's like a sitcom. It's like I think it's called Buddies is the name of the show. And it's like a group of friends.
Yeah.
And they get an email that's like leaked. And it's like the studio is like, I thought Rami did really well. And it's like, I thought Aziz did really well. And there's like, well, we can't have two of them.
Yeah.
And it's like real simple. And the whole episode's about that. And to me, it's so realistic. I was like, dude, I'll bet that happens all the time.
Daily.
Like, I'll bet. It's like, well, we can't do that.
Sorry to jump on that, Nick, but I was just telling Randy because he's getting into New Girl. Parminder Negra, if I'm saying her name right, she said straight up that she went for a sitcom and they liked her, but they're like, we can't have two Indian women on this sitcom. So everyone was like, it's New Girl. They're just guessing, but I mean, putting the pieces together, people were like, isn't that crazy? They told her to her face, like, oh my, it does happen, Nick. You're absolutely right.
And I'm not getting in. I'm almost halfway through season 3. I'm in. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, we know you like New Girl, Randy.
This stupid old school, it's getting better little by little, but it's such an old school mentality in Hollywood.
Especially because people are leaking it, which is great.
Yeah.
And people are telling everyone, which is great.
And even on the same show, going back, Masters of None, they talk about an actor in the 80s who specialized, a white actor in the 80s who specialized, Fisher Stevens. He played Puerto Rican, he played Indian, he played like a stereotypical Italian in one movie, like, hey, Paisan, what the A?
Hey, Mario.
So,
the whole thing about him being in Short Circuit 2, they're like, what?
Yeah, Short Circuit 1 and 2.
So Rob Schneider doing his own shtick isn't even original.
Remember how I told you that Asian people are so desperate for representation? So, like, you know, Aziz was saying that Indian men really looked up to him. Like, that's so sad.
Yeah. He was like, that was like my hero.
Damn.
But
oh my God.
It's terrible, that rabbit. But yeah, they mandated that for Cheeto. Like, you need straight up, like you said, tell him in the face, we need a white actor.
Damn.
So Fisher Stevens was Rob Schneider before Rob Schneider.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, there's so many like that.
Damn.
Who am I thinking of? Maybe John Turturro?
But Rob Schneider is part Asian.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I feel like Rob Schneider and Ben Kingsley are like in the same boat where we don't really know, so we don't really quite. It's like Ben Kingsley has played like every race, and we're all.
But I think he is part Indian.
But he's like.
And I didn't know that until I read up on it, like, way after. I thought he was just playing Gandhi, and it was not right. But then I was like, oh, he is part Indian.
Yeah. I remember thinking that in high school. I was like, Ben Kingsley?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, well, I guess, yeah. But I feel like Rob Schneider, it's like something that's like, you just don't ask. It's like, well, okay.
I think he's like a quarter Asian or something.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the
like
Fisher
Fred
Stevens?
Armisen.
I know we way off topic. The funny thing about the Fisher Stevens thing, the Fisher Stevens Short Circuit thing is originally cast was Bronson Pinchot. And
what is he, Greek or something? He was Greek on Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, well, what did they actually say what the heck he was on Perfect Strangers?
Oh, I thought he was Greek. Am I wrong?
I don't know if they actually said it, but that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I was going to say like whatever he was on that show.
Or it was like a mythical place.
Yeah, a mythical, like what's the name from Taxi?
Yeah.
But I want to talk about one movie. I doubt any of y'all have probably even seen it. It's a musical biopic. You probably heard
Rocket Man.
Oh, shut up. You all have probably heard of this person through another movie because a character always talks about him. So look at me. What's the movie? J.K. Simmons was the music teacher.
Spider-Man.
Whiplash, and he always talks about Charlie Parker.
Oh, okay.
So there's a music biopic about Charlie Parker. Have y'all seen it?
Of course not.
Of course.
Dude, Melissa, yo, you were just so. So, oh man, Nick.
Who the hell is Charlie? Peter Parker?
I don't recall seeing a movie about Charlie Parker.
Okay, so here we go. In 1988, Clint Eastwood directed a movie about Charlie Bird Parker called Bird, starring Forrest Whitaker as Charlie Parker.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, famous. Not famous.
Unaware.
It went under the radar a lot.
So I want to say I want to say Clint Eastwood was a random choice for Jersey Boys, but he's done the musical biopic before. I'm canceling the podcast.
Definitely, yeah. And Bird, it's a very good movie, very under the radar. Obviously, if you stomp Nick on something,
yeah,
that's saying something.
There. And sometimes I'll be like, dude, I have no idea what that is, and then I'll see a poster, and I'll be like, I've seen that poster 1,000 times.
Yeah. Damn it. And it's to be out in '88, it's really unconventional biopic. You wouldn't even know. It's very good. Forrest Whitaker is awesome in the movie. I recommend it. I don't know how hard or easy it is to find, but I remember seeing that movie. It left a really big impression on me. That's how I found out about Charlie Parker, and then I heard J.K. Simmons talking about it. I'm like, oh yeah,
nice.
So yeah, his nickname was Bird. The movie is Bird from 1988.
Bird.
And it's one of the first movies that Clint Eastwood scored. People forget that Clint Eastwood is like a grand slammer. He writes, directs, produces, and he's a composer.
This is not true.
So sorry to stomp y'all with that one. I know it's probably another one on my list that y'all haven't seen. It's before 1980, so Melissa probably didn't see it.
Well, let's break it off because we close enough
gamble.
to an hour. All right, Eric, what was you going to bring up? Because I done forgot.
I forget.
Eric, what were you drinking?
So
I was talking about a movie that y'all might not have seen.
Probably not.
It's a very good movie.
Probably not.
Is it Bird with Forrest Whitaker?
So it's biopic that came out in the early '70s, starring Diana Ross, Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, called Lady Sing the Blues.
Yes.
About Billie Holiday. I'm sure y'all heard of her.
Nice.
Very good movie.
I should watch that.
I think it's better than the Billie Holiday movie we got this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, highly, 1972. Movies go under the radar when they come out before a certain year. That's fair enough, but I highly recommend this flick. It's real good. And talk about energy. And it doesn't have that, it's in the 70s that those tropes aren't really cemented.
Right.
And so I don't know how to play. I remember seeing this real young a bunch of times. So I'm not sure how to play for y'all. I think y'all will enjoy it. Definitely. And what's that?
What about the Temptations or the Five Heartbeats?
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. But
a lot of people have been talking about these online, and I've always been like, damn, I gotta watch these. So I watched the first hour of Temptations, but it's 3 hours. Just warning
it's a TV movie. It
was the miniseries. I think it was 4 when they aired it, but I guess they had to do some cuts and maybe commercials and stuff. So it's 3 if you just watch it back to back. And it is really interesting. Like, I want to keep going. It's just so long. And the Five Heartbeats as well, I'm really interested. Just because so many people said that they grew up watching these movies, and I was like, oh, I never seen these.
Oh, man.
The Five Heartbeats is like, I feel like there's like a bunch of movies that feel like real biopics, but like they aren't.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically,
that thing you do.
Yeah.
It's like not real, but they could be. Like they should be.
So I recommend Melissa first. Watch them both; they're all right. But like Nick, these movies are essentially.
They're just all right. Oh no.
No. Don't get me wrong. The Five Heartbeats I recommend first.
Oh.
Definitely. But that's the fictional group.
Yeah.
But they're basically they're based around several groups. Like there's a scene. Have y'all seen the movie?
Girl.
Nick, you've seen the movie, right? So there's a scene in the movie involving this guy Big Red. I won't spoil it, but that happened in real life when my office hours and
I didn't really watch that. It had an anniversary.
My heart beat more than 5 times while you were telling that story.
Oh man. No, but Robert Townsend stars and directs the movie. Is the Five Heartbeats. Very good. Yeah. And so the Temptations. This is gonna lead into another biopic. The Temptations miniseries stars Leon as David Ruffin. And there's a famous like Nick knows just what I was talking about when I said it. Like, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. And Leon is great in the movie as David Ruffin.
Yeah.
But Leon also played another big music icon in another miniseries directed by Robert Townsend, Little Richard.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So have y'all seen that one?
No.
Yeah, it's Nick.
I haven't seen the miniseries.
Yeah, it's a TV movie or miniseries. It's I believe it's just probably a TV movie. But yeah, Little Richard, directed by Robert Townsend. It's okay, but definitely the Five Heartbeats. Melissa, watch that first.
Yeah, too late, but
too late.
No.
Yeah, but
Five Heartbeats is like 91 and Temptations is 98, I think.
Yeah, because I recently had 30th anniversary.
But damn, I hope Five Heartbeats isn't as long as Temptation.
No, it's a movie. It's not even 2 hours.
Thank goodness.
I've seen I saw the Michael Jackson made for TV movie.
So the Michael Jackson one or the Jacksons?
No, I saw the Man in the Mirror.
Oh no, not with Flex.
Yeah.
Flex Alexander. Jesus Christ. That was so horrible.
It's where when he put the baby out the window and like went back in and was like, "Yay!" It's
that's probably exactly what happened.
Oh man, you get it's so many of these just money grabs, lazily created music biopics. That's one of them.
There's a lot on Lifetime.
Oh no, don't talk.
I typically don't watch them, but for some reason I remember watching that one and being like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. How about the my boy from he's been in a bunch of stuff. Weed's Field version. He played Hammer.
Romany Malco.
Romany Malco played MC Hammer. Did y'all see that one?
Damn.
I heard of it.
No.
I did not watch it.
Him. He's cool.
Oh my, he's great. I love him. But this movie is, oh my god.
I didn't know about this.
I forgot about it.
But it's just these TV movies. And it's funny, the network TV movies like ABC, NBC seem to be better than the
HBO,
No, not HBO. Like the BETs and the Lifetime ones.
Yeah, but HBO would be one of the better.
No, one of the better ones. I thought you meant one of the worst.
No.
Like these BET, like Rami, what's his name, Randy?
Romany?
Yeah, Romany Malco.
Yeah, Romany. It's just like the classic overacting. It's a scene where they practicing the dance moves. He's like, I told you to get the steps right.
That sounds awesome. I kind of want to see this.
It's entertaining and how bad it is.
Oh my god.
Oh, that existed. That's like one of those things. Like he's just overacted, and it's like you're like, dude, you're MC Hammer. Like you just come on, not that deep.
But anyway,
hey, he was on top of the world in that time.
Yes, I remember. Not to blaspheme something else that I think Randy really loved.
I run this smart tech shit.
I remember when Get Rich or Die Trying came out.
Hey.
I liked 50 Cent as much as anybody, but he was still like newish. Like he wasn't like legend. And he was still kind of like newish. And so it was like that movie to me was kind of like that. Like, he got shot in the mouth and he's just like, all right, I'm going to lay down some rhymes or whatever. And he goes in the studio and he's like, I've had some troubles in my life. And everybody's like, oh my God, turn this up. Who is that? And I was like, guys, it's just 50 Cent. I just remember watching it like, guys.
It sounds like Blizzard on the SNL. You know, is that what he's called? Blizzard? Andy Samberg? When
And another movie also made fun about that trope. Like, Walk Hard, when they was in the studio trying to, like there is nothing you can do that will make us, that will impress us if you sing right now.
Yeah.
Nothing ever.
It is not likely.
Yeah, likely. And another question.
And I remember thinking that at the time. Like, he was just in there kind of just doing his thing. I'm 50 Cent. That's what's up. Like, and everybody's... they're like, turn this up. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. She's like, there's so much more power in your voice now.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Let's relax. I was like, let's relax a little bit.
At least they made it funny. At least they put a funny spin on it and Straight Outta Compton. When they were trying to get Eazy-E, we haven't brought that up yet.
I've been waiting.
They were trying to get him to rap. At least there was a comedic spin on it. It wasn't too standard, and it was funny. Like, rolling in my 6'4". But
I think Straight Outta Compton's another really good example. It does do a little bit of the cookie cutter stuff, but it's a good example. It's like, it doesn't just... So it's like, and then they sold 1 million albums, and then they went on tour, and then, now they are trying to think of their next album.
Got arrested in Detroit.
Like, showed you what an obstacle it was to get to where they were.
Yeah.
Like, it was an uphill battle, and it just showed them, like, they were friends, and they were all doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, it showed them writing the songs, but it wasn't just like, what if I wrote a song? The only part of the movie was like, man, fuck the police.
And
then everybody's like,
when they got harassed.
But it wasn't just constantly like, what if I wrote a song about being in my 6'4", just like, I just want to write a song about cruising on the street. Like, it wasn't like that.
In my 64.
Yeah, in my 64.
Yeah, and it was funny that part. They said that in the studio, like why I gotta rap the song, like talking to Cube, like, do you got a 6'4"? Like, man, I ain't got a car.
Cruising.
Yeah. But listen, I assume you have not seen this movie.
Hey, that's my favorite. That's my favorite biopic right there.
Yeah, I think I know Randy's Mount Rushmore from this conversation.
Nuh-uh.
I will get to it, but
I'm so unpredictable.
To be transparent, for the past 2 weeks, I've been watching a whole bunch, and I think I saw like 90s ones, 2000s ones, but 2010s not yet. But I finally saw Get On Up at least saw that.
Get On Up was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, the thing that I was disappointed by is that I really wanted to get wrapped up. You guys are gonna hate me because I'm gonna say why I like Bo Rap. It's like I really got wrapped up in the world of Queen and the music and everything. But Get On Up, it's like they barely cared about you getting wrapped up in the music. I feel like I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like this, but I wanted more of the music, like more of the Godfather of Soul. It was more like a character study of James Brown, and
they want that.
I love the stuff when he's a child. I mean, that just tore me apart. And I love like the mother issues and stuff, but they didn't really incorporate that much of his music business to me. I don't know.
That's a common, like I even said it. That's like a common thing with a lot of them. Yeah. It's just, and then they sold 1 million records.
Right. Yeah, you gotta. I think it's a conscious decision they make which one we want to focus on more because we can't make a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, and the best ones kind of marry both, I guess. But it's very hard to.
I like the touch of him breaking the fourth wall, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It was a ballsy choice, but
Jersey Boys and Ray both did that.
I'll be honest, I couldn't understand anything he was saying when he was James Brown. I had no idea.
So he did his job.
Yeah.
He obviously did. Yeah.
It got like that.
I was like, what is he saying? I should have watched it with subtitles. I made such a big mistake.
Yeah,
I think that was another reason I didn't really get into it as much.
I liked Get On Up and Jersey Boys doing that fourth wall narration.
Yeah, that's right. Jersey Boys did do that. That's I think that I wouldn't mind if more biopics did that. But there's one that nobody's brought up. I'm surprised. And Nick,
bring it up.
I keep feeling like we're getting to like different segments, so I'm just like saving it. Like I thought we would talk about Compton, like when we were talking about Notorious and stuff. I'd be like, well, none of them is straight up.
That would have to be organized.
So if y'all want to talk, if y'all want to like do it genre by genre, it's like Like I really like Notorious. I told y'all that. I think All Eyes on Me like missed the mark. Straight Outta Compton is my favorite musical biopic of all time. But I don't like Get Rich or Die Trying, 8 Mile. Like those have fictional elements. Like I don't count those as musical biopics.
Yeah, that like 8 Mile, like they aren't actually biopics. But I feel like Get Rich or Die Trying was like basically just the 50 Cent story.
Pretty much.
Like, it was
and even another movie like that. Purple Rain is another movie like that. It's not
Prince the movie, but it's kind of.
You're right. It's because it's basically. But another movie y'all probably going back into the 80s. It's a 1984 movie, directed by Wolfgang Peterson.
He was around in 1984.
No, I'm sorry, not Wolfgang Peterson. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another movie. Milos Forman.
Man on the Moon.
Oh, not that one. That. Nick, you got it already from the director? 1984.
Is it Amadeus?
Amadeus.
Oh, I saw that in school.
Yeah, we watched that in school too. And
I need to rewatch Amadeus. I did my Letterboxd
I
thing.
remember that I hated it, but don't kill me. I was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody liked that, but it's a kid who's boring. And watching it
they picked the wrong age to show us, I think, because I did. Yeah. I remember not liking it. What, Eric? Have you watched it as an adult?
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
I loved it. About
People
Mozart.
love that damn movie. Didn't it get a bunch of Oscars?
Oh yeah.
I think it won Best Picture.
It's one of the rare movies where there were 2 leads nominated for Best Actor. F. Murray Abraham won, and Tom Hanks, who played Mozart. Yeah.
Quasimodo.
Yeah.
What's that?
So good.
Yeah.
Maybe I wonder if I should try it again. I don't know.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I think you'll find it as an adult. I think you'll appreciate it definitely more. Because as a child,
they showed me at the wrong time.
Yeah, they do that, and
yeah,
because they showed us. I think I was in 7th grade. They showed us Schindler's
That sounds
List.
right. That sounds right. Oh, Schindler's. Yeah, I remember that too. But I think I was in high school for that. But Amadeus was probably like around 7th grade, and I was just
but no, Amadeus, a fantastic movie. And Nick, Randy.
Yeah.
I just had to throw. I could not mention that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have that on my list too. Of like, I was trying to think, what have I actually seen? I even have a list here.
Oh, there we go.
And that does count, but man, that left a bad taste when I was a kid. Oh.
For some reason, like when I think, just because it came out in the 80s, I always think, like when I think of the movie Amadeus, like in my head, I think of the song "Rock Me Amadeus," the soundtrack to the movie.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the movie, but it's all 80s. So I'm always just like, yeah, that movie was lit. Like, dude, Amadeus, it's out there. But then I'm like, maybe if they'd have put that song in the movie, it would have like spiced it up some. It would have been like Moulin Rouge.
Yo, did y'all watch what's the movie about that rock band that was on Netflix like a year or two ago?
The Dirt.
The Dirt. Did you guys watch that?
It wasn't bad. I don't like Motley Crue.
Okay.
I'm not a hair metal fan at all. So I was like,
before our time.
I just, to me, hair metal sucked ass. Like, I did not like that era of music ever.
That's not surprising to me.
But I was like, it's a biopic. Like, I'll watch it. And it was like better than I thought. The acting was better than I thought it would be. From like, I think it was like Machine Gun Kelly played like Tommy Lee.
Oh, this sounds
gross.
I have high expectations, but I was like, it's all right.
Did
not
you know?
Bad.
That reminds me, I told Randy to try Rockstar. I'm not saying it's a good movie.
Rockstar?
But for a fake, fun biopic, totally fake.
Dude, I love.
Sorry, what?
I love Rockstar with Mark
okay,
Wahlberg.
Good. Yeah, good. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it, and I like it enough to tell Randy to watch it. So yeah.
It's Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston. I'll watch it before I die.
There you go.
It turns 20 this year.
Did you know that there was a guy that went back in time through the use of a hot tub, and he started a band, and it was called Motley Lou?
Motley Lou? That shit's fucking stupid.
So stupid.
I hated Motley Crue, but I was like, man, I'll watch this, I guess. Like, it's
but isn't Rockstar about that era too, Nick? No?
Yeah. It's so good.
And you like that one, so that's good, you know.
Rockstar is top 10 Wahlberg, I think, to me.
God
like,
damn. I found Nick's Notorious.
I love it. I think that's such an underrated movie. It's funny. When I
it grew on me a bit.
The actor Timothy Spall is in everything. He's in Harry Potter. He's in so many things. When I talk about him or refer to him, I refer to him in Rockstar.
Nice.
And like my parents know who I'm talking about. I'm like, you know, Timothy Spall, the Off You Go guy from Rockstar. Like, oh.
I always wanted him to play Mad Hatter in a Batman movie.
Yes.
One day. He's not as fat as he used to be. He probably looked kind of weird.
Never mind then.
But whatever. But it's like Stephen Jenkins, the singer from Third Eye.
Oh, did you see Secrets and Lies? Is he in that, Nick? Is he the brother guy? Anyway, sorry. I think I know who you mean when you guys were talking about the weight and everything.
He's the guy. Do you watch Harry Potter?
No.
Did you watch Sweeney Todd?
No. It's okay. I think I know who it is.
Watch Rockstar.
Yeah. Sorry.
Manager, the like chubby manager guy from Rockstar.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rockstar. Yeah, that's on the holy. That's like the ones of the fake bands.
Yeah.
But it's like it should be real. Steel Dragon or whatever. They should be.
Yeah.
Real
Sometimes those fake biopics are a lot of fun.
It's so Rockstar. If you haven't seen Rockstar's underrated. Everyone go watch Rockstar.
You got the Nicholas Goodman endorsement.
I think it's rated perfectly fine.
What's his name? Singer for the band. Or he's not the singer. Dominic West.
Toretto.
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto.
The movies. Had to sneak it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so now discuss why Joaquin Phoenix was amazing as Johnny Cash, but people act like he just found like this fucking like power of acting in Her and Joker.
So the thing is about Walk the Line is it sucks. Joaquin Phoenix.
Such an Eric.
What?
Oh man,
there was a line, and it was walked.
I like Walk the Line.
Was that in 05 or am I?
It was 05.
Yeah,
it was like the same weekend as Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Of course, Randy knows. What am I saying?
So Reese, so who beat him that year for Best Actor? Joaquin.
Me.
Good question.
It was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Or
Capote.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Capote, Brokeback Mountain.
What a year! What a year!
Yeah.
Batman Begins.
Heath Ledger should have won.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Could have won. He could have. I like Philip Seymour Hoffman. But anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen Capote, so I shouldn't even talk.
So Reese won her.
Yeah.
Yeah, won the lead for Walk the Line. Yeah, it's
Baby.
Yeah, I love that part.
Oh shit!
Joaquin, he had some just stiff competition that year, man. It's a great performance.
James Mangold.
Randy, the answer is because you're looking at young A24 fans who don't know shit about shit. Everyone knows Joaquin Phoenix has always been a good actor. I mean, my first experience is To Die For. Everyone has their own story, but that's mine, and I was like, who is this guy, you know? Yeah.
I did just watch Signs a couple weeks ago.
For credit.
Move Children, Vominos.
Signs, remember? Hello?
Yeah, To Die For is overall overrated. I mean, not overrated, underrated. Because I'm sorry, Melissa. No, Nicole.
That doesn't sound like an Eric opinion to call it overrated. Whoa.
No, did she? Because she got snubbed for that, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, everything about that movie. But yeah, hell, Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator, man. Now, come on.
Yeah.
Look at
the old ones know, Randy.
Have you ever seen the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin?
One more time?
You ever seen Parenthood with Steve Martin?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, they were Keanu.
That's on my shelf.
I saw it recently, actually.
Joaquin Phoenix was a little kid in that movie.
Leaf?
He kills that. Like,
right, when he was Leaf.
That little scene he's in.
Aww.
God, that's right, man.
He's
See,
weird.
Old people now. Old.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's gotten weirder. He didn't used to always be so weird. And
Right.
that's the people be like, he's just eccentric. I'm like, nah, he's weird. He didn't used to be that.
Let's take it back Let's take it back around to Johnny Cash.
Yeah, he would never do, like, he was the voice of the Brother Bear. He would never do that now.
Thank you for taking it back around.
Like, what's the point of the bear? Bears don't talk. Like, he would be weird about it. But
yeah. But you know what? It has that Walk the Line has that scene in it that they poke fun in. The one like there is
the whole thing that, like, Walk Hard is basically just Ray and Walk the Line, and
yeah,
not
it is.
else. Like, all the big parts of what, like...
Maybe that's why I didn't get Walk Hard that much, because I hadn't seen either of those.
But you know what? Yeah, but for the most part, it really doesn't matter because it's the tropes that... The
but
hard tropes.
But everyone says it's so genius and it's so funny, and I watched both Walk Hard and Never Stop Poppin' whatever, and I was like...
Never Stop Poppin'.
And I love comedy. You know, I see comedies out on purpose, and for both I was kind of like, this isn't making it for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's his little brother in half.
Yeah, like Rome's son died.
It's like, this was a particularly bad case of someone being cut in half.
Cut in half, yeah.
I wasn't able to reattach the top part of his body with the bottom part of his body.
And it just, the Ray thing.
Scientist. Oh, that shit.
That's Jonah Hill when he became the older.
Yeah, he comes back. It's like Ray. Like, he's always talking to his brother.
Yeah. And even in Ray, the the detox scene Walk Hard, like too many blankets, like not enough blankets. But yeah, it's just, and the drug thing in Ray, I'm like, it pokes fun at the bad people that was in Ray Charles's life, but it's a good joke. Like, get out of here, you don't want none of this shit. Like, come on.
That's funny.
Uppers and downers. It's the logical next step for you.
Yeah.
Those pills. It works in Ray. Like, that's what I say. Ray predates that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it works great in Ray. And he's blind, and he doesn't know what they're doing, but he's just like, he has reason to do it. It worked in Ray. Walk the Line did it. Every other movie, it's where something like that happens. I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
There. He got mad and destroyed the sink.
Oh man, yeah, it's tricky, but and the unsupportive wife, you're never gonna make it.
Oh,
Who
man.
the hell? He's like, nobody ever made money singing, do he? He's like, what about Elvis Presley? Who the hell is Elvis Presley? Who the hell is
They do always make women like that in movies.
It's. And even Elvis and Walk Hard.
Women are always there to just be an obstacle to a man's important business. I hate that. Yeah.
And Jack White is Elvis.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Like, hey, man. I was like, we just totally farted over Walk the Line and start getting into Walk Hard.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck Walk the Line. Walk Hard is a better movie. Like, if I had to pick,
What? Nick, I thought you loved Walk the Line.
I like Walk the Line a lot, but I'm like, which one would I give a higher grade? I think Walk Hard gets higher.
Nice.
It's so funny.
Oh,
Patrick Duffy took a beating.
Is that Judd Apatow?
I think he produced it.
Produced it
and wrote it too, did he?
Did he?
Wow.
He had a hand.
I wonder if those people hate him for ruining their movies.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. They really didn't, because Walk Hard wasn't a hit in theaters.
Yeah.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh.
That's the thing that's why Bohemian Rhapsody exists, because Walk the Line, if it should have destroyed that template of music biopics, because it was so beat by beat and so standard. And
it's
they
like
just kept
basic, but better, in my opinion. But
I think I keep getting Walk the Line and Walk Hard mixed up when you guys talk about it. Are you saying Walk the Line wasn't a hit?
No, Walk Hard wasn't.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I know it didn't make any money, yeah.
And that's why it kept writing all these Walk movies.
Then it come out against like Juno and Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, that was another like just heavy awards season.
It was very under the radar. I remember that. But I know because of word of mouth, people loved it so much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I saw it until I bought the DVD.
And it's not just, it doesn't just make fun of biopics. Like, it makes fun of, like, music, and, like, musicians. Like, there's the whole thing where he's, like, got all the musicians, like, playing didgeridoos, and he's got, like, the animals, and he's, like, recording the animals. Like, that's making fun of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like, there wasn't a Beach Boys movie. There is one starring John Cusack. But, like, there wasn't, that's just, they were just making fun of, like, that. And then what's his name? David Krumholtz plays his manager. Like, he's just making fun of that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the Jewish manager who always just shows up and knows what to do. It's
So
like they're
he
making
was
fun of that.
so he was Billy Bob in Not Another Teen Movie.
Huh?
So Krumholtz was Billy Bob in Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, what the?
Playing himself, making fun of himself in Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait, Billy? Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah.
So another genius scene in Walk Hard.
God damn it! Now I'm thinking of another team movie.
I'm sorry. Just one more thing, but it's funny. I don't know if how big a fan of the Beatles y'all are.
I love the.
When the Beatles showed up in Walk Hard,
I step on Beatles if I see them on the ground.
Paul Rudd? No.
Yeah, it's Paul Rudd, was John Lennon, Jack Black.
I'm about to say Jack Black was in there.
Paul McCartney, the singer of the Beatles.
Now, who was it? Schwartzman was Ringo.
Schwartzman was Ringo, and Justin Long was George Harrison.
The hilarious thing is, being a fan, if y'all watch the scene again, Jack Black, Paul Rudd, what's his name, Schwartzman.
Jason
Obviously, they're
Schwartzman
not
in a
even
not Wes
trying
Anderson
to go
movie.
for authenticity. Justin Long as George Harrison is actually doing a decent impression. If y'all know anything about the Beatles, which is hilarious. But Paul Rudd,
they were all funny.
Oh, they were great. That's what makes the scene great. And Paul Rudd and his English accent, like, oh, you just imagine.
I've been fans of your records too. Like that shit.
Like, what do you think? What did he say? What do you think? Ringo Starr from the Beatles?
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, that's just stupid genius.
You two are giggling like little schoolgirls.
It's so funny. That movie is so funny.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Are there any actual biopics that we missed?
Oh yeah, plenty.
Oh, a bunch.
Okay, that's all I want to talk about.
Michael Jackson biopic with Flex Alexander, but the wonderful, great miniseries, The Jacksons, The American Dream. I don't know if any of y'all saw that.
No.
I highly recommend it. It's like 13 hours.
13 hours?
Pass.
It's quite long, really. I think it's like legit 5 hours.
I don't even go to work for 13 hours.
But it came out in 92. Angela Bassett is in it. A young Terrence Howard plays one of the Jacksons.
So Angela Bassett has been in like 4 musical biopics.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I really built up all these 90s biopics that I never saw when I was a kid. So What's Love, The Doors, Velvet Goldmine. And finally, because of this podcast, I tried them all. And damn, it was disappointing. I really shouldn't have waited so long. It's not good because The Doors especially. I know Nick likes it, but man,
like Nick said about The Doors, it's very. Well, no, go ahead, Nick.
Well, is it like I get like when you read about like the criticism of The Doors, I'm like, oh, I get it. Like I'm like, I just think if you take it at face value, like you take it for what it is, like it's like a fictional representation of The Doors.
Extremely fictional.
Like,
okay.
Oh, well, then this is great. Like, it's like Val Kilmer is doing like 110%. Like, he is doing acting.
He committed.
Look at Val Kilmer. Like, it's insane. Like, do I think if I went back in time and met Jim Morrison that he was, like, setting his house on fire? No. But that, like, for whatever that weird script was that they gave Val Kilmer, like, Val Kilmer did that. Like, he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to give this. And so it's like, wow, okay.
Highly recommend Val, the documentary, since you're talking about him. But you, what's Love got to do with it, Melissa? Nah, didn't do it for you?
It was just so harsh, and
Yeah.
there's one scene in particular that went so far.
Oh yeah, I know
that. I regret seeing the movie. I'll be perfectly honest. You know, I love Tina Turner. I grew up with her music. My mom was playing her albums when I was growing up. So it's funny, like, you know that Desperado episode of Seinfeld? Like, when people play 80s Tina Turner, I'm like that guy. I, like, stop in my tracks because all the nostalgia of being a kid washes over me. Like, I love that music from that time. So I was excited to finally see this, and I had been putting it off for obviously, like, 30 years. But, yeah, it's not that it was bad or anything like that, and I love the music.
It was very intense. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was just so harsh. And then to read what Tina thought after, and she kind of felt taken advantage of. And even though she was involved in the planning, she saw it, and she was like, I can't believe it. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. No, I'm sorry, Melissa.
So that's just how I felt. Like, it wasn't a great experience for me, let's just say.
No, and a lot of those, I like the movie for getting across how the essence of that relationship. A lot of the famous scene that's made fun of never happened. Eat the cake. That never happened.
Yeah, that's an example. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and but you got to give it to those performances though.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett.
I can't even believe Lawrence agreed to do it because when I watch shows from today, even people reference it. That's how big that movie was at the time. Yeah. So many people saw that movie, and man, like. Yeah, it was really effective.
No wonder Trey Styles' parents aren't together.
What's that?
I said, no wonder Trey Styles' parents aren't together.
They played the year before, 2 years before. But even in a movie, what you have to do for any biopic, sometimes you have to do composite characters, like combine a lot of people. And the lady from What's Love's Got to Do with It that taught Tina meditation, she didn't exist.
Yeah.
She's not real. Yeah. But she did do this, you know, but the movie has to, and it's when you blur, this and that. But yeah, I mean, every biopic, it can't be 5 hours, so you got to take some of these licenses.
Exactly. I totally get that. I understand that.
Oh.
But yeah, it's intense. And I know the scene you're talking about intense, and supposedly stuff like that did happen, but, you know, it's...
Yeah, the way Tina describes it is a little different, and maybe she's kind of trying to, like, respect herself by not saying too much, which I totally get. But, man, yeah, when you put it all out there, I don't really think there's a need for a scene like that. Like, you got how harsh the relationship was without it. Mm-hmm. And, I get it, they have to show some stuff, but I think a little bit was too far. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't even believe the actors agreed to go through with it, but, yeah.
Yeah, it's something. I can't take that away from you.
Yo, there's a Wu-Tang show. Is that a biographical show? Does anybody watch it?
No, I didn't see it.
They're always tweeting about it.
Okay.
If it's on TV, I'm probably gonna miss it. Like, that's what I've taken away from this episode. There's all these miniseries and movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I missed that completely. It was on TV. If it was Wu-Tang the movie, like, I would have been first in line. Like,
yes.
I will have one for Wu-Tang, please.
The funny thing about The Doors that we didn't mention, Randy, is how Wayne's World 2, like, basically the whole movie is The Doors. It's so weird.
Yeah. I should have seen The Doors before Wayne's World 2.
Well, we were too young.
But that shows you, like, there, like, in Wayne's World 2, like, obviously that's not real, but it's like, that's the perception of Jim Morrison. Like, that's... Yeah. Like, he was... So that's why when I watch The Doors, I'm like, this is like the fictional account. This is the Lizard King movie. This isn't the Morrison story.
Yeah, no, I just wish the movie was tighter. Like, I had to bail out at that whole long drug trip. Like, come on, I don't want to watch that.
Melissa, you took the words right
out
of my mouth.
The whole movie feels like a long drug trip.
Psychedelic. The whole movie.
I'll watch it if the story is something to watch. But come on, I had to bail, especially after seeing Wayne's World 200 times. I was like, I've seen this. Like,
that's Oliver Stone.
That's what Nick was talking about. That perception, that psychedelic. He was always and that's the thing.
Dude, like that.
You gotta make the story interesting though. Like I'm not on shrooms, so you know.
Like that's Oliver Stone though. Like before Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm doing the Tarantino binge. I watched Natural Born Killers all the way through for the first time, and it feels like a long ass drug trip. And then I'm like, the Doors came out.
JFK, and that's like 3 hours. I absolutely love that movie, but that's not one of his drug trip movies.
Yeah, the Doors came out, and that's the same thing. Like he made the Doors. It feels like a 2 hour long acid trip, and he liked that tone and that like fantastical way of making that movie. So he did it with Natural Born Killers.
And it works better with that. And Natural Born Killers.
It's like what's that movie with Johnny Depp and Benicio?
Oh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Fear and Loathing. Yeah, it's like that's not interesting to me because I'm sober.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that did. Like, did you ever watch? Speaking of the Beatles, did you ever watch the movie Across the Universe? It was like the
no.
Oh yeah.
I want to, but no.
I was real excited for that movie when it came out. I was like, dude, this looks amazing.
Yeah, same.
It starts like maybe the first 45 minutes or so of it. It's really good. They're singing Beatles songs, and it's like a love story, and it's kind of like eras of the Beatles. And then they get into the whole Octopus's Garden, Yellow Submarine, Strawberry Field shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
A little chunk of the movie is like, woo, woo, like, you know, everybody's high.
Scooby-Doo ending.
Is like,
and like Melissa said, they could have, Across the Universe, I think would have been perfect if they just tighten it up just a tad.
Tighten it up.
But it's not a bad movie. I think you'll still enjoy it, but I agree with Nick 100% about it. Just a little, they probably could have cut 3 songs out.
You just start losing it's just like, man, now they're just tripping in the strawberry fields for an hour. That's the story.
Yeah,
I have the exact same complaint about Velvet Goldmine. If this movie had tightened up the editing, I think I could really like it. But after the first hour, I'm like, okay, I get it. And then there's a whole nother hour where it's just vignettes. It's just weird music videos, kind of. And I'm like, this is not a movie. Like, this started out so great. I was totally buying into it. But there's no story here. Like, there's nothing to hold me watching the movie. Exactly. Why not tighten it up? I don't get it. I totally get why it was a failure when it came out, you know?
But music biopics, were we recording when we went off and talking about Aziz Ansari and
the first part, yeah.
So
I don't know.
There's a movie coming out. And it's a music biopic, and I'm very curious about it. It just got picked up, I think, distribution. And I brought up the Aziz Ansari thing because it's a representation thing. And I'm very familiar with this person. I discovered her in a Jackie Chan movie. I first saw her in Rumble in the Bronx. I thought she was just an actress.
Like the way that Nick discovers somebody.
What's that?
Like the way that Nick discovers somebody.
Yeah, exactly. But and she was so gorgeous. I'm like, man, who is this? And I looked her up and researched her. Anita Mew. She was huge over in Hong Kong. She was I think the genre is canto pop. If I'm not mistaken. But she was huge and she died very young. She died at 40.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anita Mew, M-U-I, and they're doing a movie about her. And I think I can't wait to see it. I'm very curious about how it's gonna come out. But yeah, she was.
But there's no music.
What's that?
No music. There's no music in it.
Well, it's a biopic of a musician, so I would assume, yeah.
So you just fucked up my whole joke.
I knew it right when I was in the middle of it.
It's a musical biopic, so I would assume that there's fucking music in it, Brandon.
I was just gonna say, if there's no music, then why are we talking about the shit?
Oh, but no, that's that, and you don't see a lot. I mean, you don't see a lot of. We talked about white stars, and there's a lot, and even a lot of black music biopics. People just grab up the rights to it and want to make it, and most of them are crap. But it's gonna be good to see, and even Latino. I don't think we have any Asian music biopics.
So this is gonna be like a Hollywood movie?
I'm not sure. It got pent up at Sundance. I'm not sure what the distribution company is or how wide a release it will get. I'm not even sure if it's gonna be in English.
Interesting.
But I'm just glad she's gonna get her due. So, and it's a very good thing to. I hope it gets like wide attention because you gotta open up. It's a lot of interesting stories to be told in the world, and I think hers is gonna be one of them. Because she was huge. I don't know how much y'all know about it. Just Google her and look it up. Y'all see. Because Jackie put her in the movie because she was huge. Rumble in Bronx was 96. Yeah. So, no, that's wanted to bring that up, too. Y'all can look up that and research that.
Is there anything that you guys want to bring up before we close it out?
I want to talk about Beyond the Sea with Kevin Spacey.
So, that's about it, huh?
So on the next episode,
Bobby Darin, where he was supposed to be like 30, and really like 50.
Oh man, that was one of his passion projects, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was so into. I think he got nominated for a Golden Globe for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Oh god.
Good job, Ken. Wherever you are.
Speaking of HBO, go ahead. One more.
HBO.
Liberace.
Behind the Candelabra.
Oh, yeah. I want to see that. It's not Cabana.
Cabana. I'm thinking Coco Cabana. I'm sorry.
There should be a Barry Manilow biopic.
Yeah, Beyond the Cabana.
There you go.
Beyond the Cabana.
I don't know why I had that song in my head.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but have y'all seen that?
I want to see it.
I did watch it when it was on, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I remember this was supposed to be Steven Soderbergh's. It's like 4th retirement. This is supposed to be his last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I remember from it.
And it's really what's a good word? Fantastical. It's not your standard trophy. Yeah, it's real good. I recommend it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I remember thinking it was like, well, I was like, wow, that was really something.
I mean, it's Soderbergh.
I don't remember specifics. It's been.
I should see that.
Yeah, definitely, and it's good. It's Michael Douglas is great.
I was reading about it, and a lot of people were pissed that Matt Damon played someone so much younger than he really is.
Like, oh man, we talked about that to a couple of these movies. Gary Busey playing Buddy Holly,
Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
Oh man,
I know.
But Soderbergh, he's gonna use whoever the hell he wants. Like I keep, I keep noticing this with watching so many movies because of these podcasts. It's like directors are so stubborn; they just fit in whoever they like, even if it doesn't make any damn sense. It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but, Soderbergh definitely has his own cool kids table.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not always a bad thing.
We didn't talk about the coal miner's daughter.
Oh,
did the coal miner have a daughter?
That sort of thing was like, what is another like big one? I feel like we're missing one.
Oh man,
miner's daughter, Sissy Spacek, Loretta Lynn.
She won an Oscar for that, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That might be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Nice.
That. Maybe Selena and like.
We didn't mention that. Evita. Doesn't that count?
Isn't that a brand of cheese?
I should watch that.
I thought that was a brand of cheese.
You idiot.
I love Madonna. I know people don't like her acting that much, but
I'm always going to outdumb my dumbest joke.
No, she was good in that, I think.
Like, I love her in A League of Their Own, so.
Yeah.
I'm willing to try it.
Maybe we can probably talk about this stuff. Did you hear about all the stuff with A League of Their Own? Like, Deborah Winger was supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah.
He was, like, pissed that Madonna was in it. Anyway.
I glanced at that, but since that's not musical biopic related, I'm going to say, get in the comments. Let us know what some of y'all musical biopics are. Ones we talked about, ones we might not have talked about. I'm going to come back and wrap up this episode, and then I'm not going to have a plan for what we're going to do in 2 weeks. So Melissa's going to ask like 4 times within 2 weeks. And then by the time the next episode comes around, the Sunday before Labor Day, I'm not going to know what we're talking about because this is Rec League Podcast. And that's why it is Rec League Podcast, because I'm never ready to go until I'm ready to go. Peace. Yo. Yo, I'ma keep it real with you, man. I like food. An obvious next bar, but it puts me in a good mood. Not trying to choke, I see that it all gets chewed. And if you ever pay for my meal, then you know you my dude. When I run out of soda, I get a little sad. I am fully aware that a motherfucker fat. But is there any better feeling than finding fries that fell up out the bag? Drive through don't put no sauce, then that's a motherfucking drag. I like cheese on the meal, and I'm all about my craft. I keep it well hidden, but I'm sure they still laugh. Split that shit in two, and I still want the other half. Making love to the grub afterwards, I take a bath. I bumps music, but snacks be within my favorite rappers. I hope it don't offend you if I drool on the menu. Forget to wipe after eating cookie dough batter, grilled chicken barbecue slathered. And chill until the next episode.